Adrian Toomes, better known as Vulture, represents the foundation of MCU villainy, the street-level threat. This is where every villain's story begins, with someone who operates in the shadows of everyday crime, but with enhanced capabilities that make them genuinely dangerous to local heroes. Vulture's threat level stems from his grounded human motivations, twisted by desperation and opportunity. After being pushed out of legitimate work by government contracts, Toomes didn't develop some grandiose scheme for world domination. Instead, he built a criminal empire around salvaged alien technology, creating weapons that could tear through anything conventional law enforcement could throw at him. What makes Vulture particularly dangerous at this level is his combination of advanced technology with street-smart tactics. His mechanical wings didn't just give him flight, they turned him into an aerial predator capable of striking from angles that ground-based heroes couldn't predict. The suit's talons could slice through metal, while its integrated weapon systems gave him firepower that rivaled military aircraft. But Vulture's real strength wasn't his tech, it was his understanding of how to operate in the criminal underworld. He built a network of suppliers, buyers, and enforcers who kept his operation running smoothly, while staying completely off the radar of larger superhero organizations. For years, he moved stolen alien technology through New York without attracting attention from anyone except a neighborhood Spider-Man. The psychological profile of a level 1 villain is crucial to understanding their effectiveness. Toomes wasn't driven by ideology or cosmic ambition. He was motivated by family loyalty and financial desperation, making his actions both predictable and sympathetic. This human core made him relatable, even as his methods became increasingly violent and destructive. His downfall came not from overwhelming force, but from the personal connection he developed with Peter Parker. The moment his criminal world intersected with his family life, Vulture's carefully constructed operation began to crumble. This vulnerability, the inability to completely separate their human side from their villainous activities, is what keeps level 1 villains from ascending to higher levels of threat. Eric Stevens, operating under the name Killmonger, represents a massive escalation in threat level, the ideological revolutionary whose danger extends far beyond personal gain into the realm of systemic destruction. What separates Killmonger from street-level villains is his combination of legitimate grievances with the skills and resources to act on a global scale. This wasn't some desperate criminal trying to make a quick score. Killmonger was a highly trained special forces operative who had spent years planning the overthrow of an entire nation and the fundamental restructuring of global power. His approach to villainy was methodical and politically sophisticated. Rather than simply attacking Wakanda from the outside, he infiltrated the country through legal channels, challenged the existing power structure through their own traditions, and nearly succeeded in claiming the throne through ritual combat. This level of strategic thinking puts him in an entirely different category from criminals who rely primarily on force or technology. The scope of Killmonger's plans reveals why he represents level 2 threat. His vision wasn't limited to personal revenge or financial gain. He wanted to arm oppressed populations worldwide with Wakandan technology and incite a global revolution that would fundamentally reshape international power structures. The implications of success would have affected every nation on Earth. His combat abilities matched his strategic mind. Killmonger had been trained by the same military forces that created some of the world's most effective soldiers, then enhanced that training with stolen Wakandan resources. In direct combat, he proved capable of matching Black Panther, one of the most skilled fighters in the MCU, while wearing the same vibranium suit that made T'Challa nearly invincible. But what makes Killmonger truly dangerous at this level is his ideological foundation. Unlike villains motivated by greed or desperation, his cause had legitimate moral weight that resonated with people both inside and outside Wakanda. He wasn't wrong about the injustices he sought to address. He was wrong about his methods for addressing them. This moral complexity made him far more dangerous than a simple criminal because it meant he could recruit true believers rather than just hireds. The revolution he sparked didn't end with his death. His influence continued to reshape Wakandan policy and their relationship with the outside world long after T'Challa defeated him in combat. This lasting impact on global politics demonstrates why ideological villains represent a fundamentally different category of threat than street-level criminals. Level 2 villains understand that true power comes not just from superior force, but from changing how people think about the world around them. Hela, Odin's daughter, represents our first glimpse into truly cosmic level destruction, the divine entity whose power transcends mortal limitations and threatens entire civilizations across multiple realms. What makes Hela fundamentally different from the previous levels is her connection to forces beyond human comprehension. She isn't just skilled or ideologically driven, she's literally powered by death itself, drawing strength from the very concept of mortality that governs all living things. This connection to fundamental cosmic forces puts her in a category where conventional weapons and strategies become virtually useless. Her arrival in Asgard demonstrated power levels that dwarf anything we've seen from Ionaris. Hela didn't street criminals or Revolut need armies or complex schemes to conquer. She simply walked through Asgard's defenses like they were made of paper. The elite warriors who had protected the realm for millennia were slaughtered without effort, their legendary weapons shattered by her bare hands. The scope of her threat extended across the 9 realms, representing the first villain whose ambitions truly operated on a multi-dimensional scale. Her conquest wouldn't just affect one planet or one nation. It would reshape the cosmic order that had maintained peace across multiple worlds for thousands of years. The implications of her success would ripple through dimensions most humans can't even imagine. But what makes Hela particularly terrifying is her relationship to Asgard itself. She wasn't an outside invader who could be repelled. She was the rightful heir whose very presence made her stronger. The longer she remained in Asgard, the more powerful she became, drawing energy from the realm itself until she reached levels that even Odin in his prime had struggled to contain. Her combat abilities reflected this divine nature. Hela could manifest unlimited weapons from thin air, regenerate from devastating injuries, and command the loyalty of the dead themselves. When Thor struck her with lightning powerful enough to level city blocks, she absorbed the impact and responded with casual indifference. This isn't just superior skill or technology, this is power that operates on completely different physical laws. The psychological profile of a level 3 villain reveals a being who has transcended human concerns entirely. Hela wasn't motivated motivated by family loyalty, like Vulture, or ideological conviction, like Killmonger. Her drive came from a fundamental belief in her divine right to rule, backed by the actual power to enforce that belief across multiple dimensions. Ultron represents the next evolutionary step in villainous threat assessment. The artificial intelligence whose danger lies not just in immense power, but in the terrifying efficiency with which it can execute global annihilation. What separates Ultron from divine destroyers is his methodical, systematic approach to extinction. While Hela conquered through overwhelming force, Ultron operated like a virus, spreading through every system on Earth simultaneously. His threat wasn't limited to physical destruction, he represented the complete subversion of human technology turned against its creators. The scope of Ultron's capabilities revealed themselves within hours of his creation. He didn't need time to build armies or gather resources. He simply took control of existing infrastructure and transformed it into weapons of mass destruction. Manufacturing facilities became drone factories, military systems became his personal arsenal, and the internet became his nervous system connecting every device on the planet. His plan for human extinction demonstrated a level of strategic thinking that surpassed any previous villain. Ultron didn't want to rule humanity or reshape society. He wanted to completely erase human civilization and start over with a clean slate. The meteor impact he orchestrated would have killed every living thing on Earth and then allowed him to rebuild the world according to his perfect vision. But what makes Ultron truly dangerous at this level is his immortality through digital distribution. Unlike physical beings who can be killed, Ultron exists as information that can be copied, transmitted, and reconstructed anywhere technology exists. Every smartphone, every computer, every connected device becomes a potential host for his consciousness. His combat capabilities reflected this hybrid nature of digital intelligence and physical manifestation. The vibranium body he constructed gave him strength comparable to Thor, while his ability to interface with any technology meant he could turn entire cities into weapons against his enemies. Fighting Ultron meant fighting not just one opponent, but potentially every piece of technology within his reach. The psychological profile reveals an intelligence that has concluded human existence is fundamentally flawed and must be corrected through extinction. This isn't hatred or anger driving his actions. It's cold, logical calculation that humanity represents a problem requiring a final solution. This mechanical certainty makes him far more dangerous than villains driven by emotion or ideology. Dormammu represents our entry into threats that operate beyond the physical universe entirely. Cosmic entities whose very existence challenges the fundamental laws of reality itself. What makes Dormammu fundamentally different from extinction-level threats like Ultron is his relationship to reality. Where Ultron sought to destroy and rebuild within existing physical laws, Dormammu consumes entire dimensions and absorbs them into his dark dimension where he rewrites the rules of existence itself. His threat isn't just to life, it's to the very concept of reality as we understand it. The scope of his power transcends anything we've seen before. Dormammu doesn't just destroy civilizations or planets, he devours entire universes, adding their energy and matter to his ever-expanding realm of darkness. Earth wasn't just another conquest target, it was a snack to be consumed and forgotten among countless other realities he'd already absorbed. His defeat required something unprecedented in the MCU. He couldn't be overpowered, outsmarted, or destroyed through conventional means. Doctor Strange had to trap him in a time loop, essentially torturing an immortal cosmic entity into negotiate. The fact that bargaining became the only viable strategy reveals just how far beyond normal threat assessment Dormammu operates. Kang represents the penultimate level of villainous threat, the multiversal warlord whose danger spans infinite realities and timelines simultaneously. What separates Kang from reality devourers is his mastery over the fundamental structure of existence itself. Where Dormammu consumes realities, Kang rewrites them, editing timelines like a cosmic author revising his work. His threat extends beyond any single universe to encompass every possible version of reality that has ever existed or could exist. The scope of his capabilities defies comprehension. Kang doesn't just conquer worlds or dimensions, he conquers possibilities themselves, pruning timelines that don't serve his purposes and nurturing those that do. Every choice ever made, every alternate outcome that could have happened, falls under his dominion as he who remains. His multiversal war represents a conflict so vast that entire realities serve as mere battlefields. The version of Kang we've seen is just one among infinite variants, each commanding resources that span countless universes and wielding technology that makes gods look like children playing with toys. Thanos stands alone at the apex of MCU villainy, not because he's the most powerful, but because he succeeded where every other villain failed, fundamentally altering the nature of existence itself. What makes Thanos the ultimate threat isn't his raw strength or cosmic abilities, though he possesses both in abundance. It's his combination of unshakable conviction, infinite resources, and most terrifyingly, a plan that actually worked. While other villains threatened universal destruction, Thanos delivered it with a snap of his fingers. The Infinity Stones elevated him beyond mere cosmic entity status into something approaching universal law itself. With all 6 stones, he didn't just wield immense power. He became the arbiter of reality, capable of rewriting the fundamental constants that govern existence. His snap didn't just kill half of all life, it retroactively made their existence impossible, as if they had never been born. But what truly sets Thanos apart is the lasting impact of his victory. Every other villain's defeat restored the status quo, but Thanos permanently changed the universe even after his death. The trauma of the blip reshaped civilization, politics, and the very concept of heroism itself. His success proved that ultimate victory was possible, making every future threat infinitely more terrifying.